Welcome to Java programming. In this lecture, I will deal with constructors. So we have come to object-oriented programming. We have understood what classes are, and now we are going to learn about constructors in Java. So constructor in Java is a block of code similar to method. We have already written some methods. So constructor is a block of code similar to method. It is called when an instance of the class is created. So when we want to make and create an object, that is the instance of an object class, that is an object, then it is called. It is a special type of method which is used to initialize the object. We will come to know now what kind of method it is, why it is special. So at the time of calling constructor, memory for the object is allocated in the memory. That is very important to know because we are declaring some variables. Now those variables have to have certain memory allocated, and that is done by the constructor. Every time an object is created using new keyword or the operator, at least one constructor is called. So this is theory. Now we will get into practical and understand how a constructor is created. So now let us go through the rules for creating Java constructor. There are two rules to define a constructor. So first, constructor name must be the same as its class name. As you know, we have always started class and given the class name and then the variables and the methods. So in the case of constructor, the name of the class and the constructor has to be the same. But one thing is, constructor must have no explicit return value. There is no return. So say integer, float, etc. is not there. Just class and then the parameters if there are. So therefore, the name of the constructor should be the name of the class, but no return type is mentioned. A Java constructor cannot be abstract, static, final, and synchronized. We'll come to know this, what is abstract, static, but just remember that we don't give any type here like abstract, static, etc. So let us get into constructor. So for example, now I'm creating a class called square, and there is a variable called side here, the length of the side. So what is the constructor? The constructor in this case could be square just without any parameter. So this, and here the code will come, appropriate code will come. Therefore, as you see here, the name of the class and name of the constructor is the same. So this is the first way of declaring a constructor. Now there could be other constructors and methods which follow this. This is the constructor of the class. Then there will be other methods or also other constructors. We will come to those, what other constructors could be. For example, there are two types of constructors. A default constructor with no arguments, as you have seen in the earlier example, or there could be a parameterized constructor or constructed with parameters or arguments which can be given to that constructor. As you see here, this is what we did just now. Square is a constructor without any parameters, but I could also have a constructor here, square, with the parameter. So here nothing, here int L, the length of the side is there. So this is how we can create therefore these constructors, constructed without a parameter and constructor with a parameter. One or two or more parameters could be there depending on the number of variables we are going to declare, either as private variables or public variables. So this is how we create constructors. So let us take one concrete example. You have already gone through the example of a vehicle where we declared all these variable number of passengers, fuel capacity and the miles per liter. Well, the constructor could be in this case constructor with the parameters. P for passengers, F for fuel cap and K for miles per liter, the mileage. So then what you do is here we initialize. So when you give parameters here, they are used to initialize the variables declared here in the class. As you see, assign P to passengers, F to fuel cap, and K to KPL, that is miles or kilometers, not miles, kilometers per liter. Okay. Then with that we go to the methods. As you say, range. I find the range, fuel cap into KPL will give me the vehicle range, and return. It is a method which returns the range traveled by a particular vehicle. Now let us see, we have created a class, we have got a constructor, we have a method. Let us use it in the program. So vehicle demo here with constructors. So I've got a public static main program. I am creating an object called car, and in this time I am going to pass 4, 50 and 40. These are the parameters which are passed, and they are going to initialize the variables passengers, and then you have got the other kilometers per hour, and then the capacity of the tank. So this is how I have created an object called vehicle car. So then I've got one more variable, as you see here. So these are the passengers, fuel cap, and KPL are initialized here in this. And when you create this object called car, these variables will already have the values assigned. Now I calculate the range, car range. I use that method car range of car, and then calculate the car range. Now then display the car will travel, etc. So many kilometers, etc. And here. So this is the output. I have compile, execute this program. The car will travel 1500 kilometers when the tank is full with 50 liters of gas and with 4 passengers. So this is the output after compiling the program. So this is one example where I have shown you how a constructor is created using parameters, and then we have the method which is called to give the result of the program. We come to one more example called square. I have given you already it as one of the examples for parameterized constructor. Yeah. So here I've got square here. This is the variable side, length of the side. Constructor here without parameters. I initialize side is equal to 0. That's all. Without parameter. Then I am passing parameter L. So then initialize the length of the side with this value. So that then I calculate. These are the methods. Square area, the area of the square, that is a multiply side into side and return that. Square of the diagonal, that is the length of the diagonal. So square length of the diagonal. So it calculates the length of the diagonal. As you see, this is the formula, square root of s squared plus s squared, that is 2s squared. So that is it returns the length of the diagonal. So perimeter, the perimeter of the square, that is the whole perimeter, that is side into 4. There are 4 sides of the length side, therefore this is the perimeter. I return that perimeter. So then I call this program, class here, create an object SQ. As you see, I'm passing 7. 7 is going to be the length of the side, so that is initialized. Then I calculate the area, that is SQ dot square area. This is the method in my object called square SQ, and therefore it is called and it is printed. Then I find the square diagonal of that square, and it is printed. I find the perimeter of the square, that is printed, and as you see, this is the result of that. So the area of the square with the length of the side 7 is equal to 49, and this is the length of the diagonal. This is the perimeter, 7 into 4, so it gives you the results. So this is how I compile this square demo.java. As you see, square demo is the name of this executable program here, and then I execute that, and then I get the results. So these are some homework for you. because it's very good to do a lot of problems. Then only you understand. So I have given you here two problems. Create a class named circle with data members, radius and angle. Write the following methods. Constructor, area circle, is this circle circumference, then arc length. So you have to find the arc length given the angle. So given the angle. So then one more. Define a class named room with these data members, length, width and height. So create a constructor. Whitewashing area. Calculate the whitewashing area. The whitewashing cost is given here, how much it costs per square foot, and here flooring cost, how much does it, as you see given here, 200 rupees for a square foot of the flooring, granite. So then cement, etc. So do this and maybe find out more examples and program them and execute them, and then only you will learn what constructors are, how to use these constructors, how to write various methods for a given problem. Thank you.